I'm going to start with LeBron James scoring his 39,000th point last night. And it wasn't a big deal. In fact, here is the call of LeBron scoring, first player ever to get to 39,000 points.
Right, he's only really on a limit when the Lakers are blowing the other team out. LeBron, drill it from downtown.
All right. And you don't stop the game. It's just that's 39,000 points for LeBron. And I think his career average is 27.5, 7.5, 7.5, 1.5 steals. But he's been doing this for 21 seasons. And there's no real dip. He's still one of the top 10 players in the game. Here is LeBron talking about reaching that milestone.
Got congratulated by all my teammates and coaches and things of that nature. And I haven't had an opportunity to really, I guess, wrap my head around what that means. I mean, there's been so many great players. They came across this league since the beginning of time, and so many great scorers. And to be able to accomplish something as the first of anything, I think that's always pretty cool. And it's a wild moment, that's for sure.
Okay, how many players come into the sport, into the game, not known as shooters? LeBron was not a shooter. Now, he's not a great shooter. He's a streaky shooter. But he came in as sort of a all-around, talented player. That he was big, he was fast, strong, get to the hoop, good passer, great passer, rebound, all of those things. But he became the greatest scorer in the history of the sport. It just doesn't happen unless you want it to happen. And I think he made himself a better shooter, a dangerous shooter, shooting a three-pointer and being able to get to the hoop whenever he wants to. Usually when you get older, you're not able to get to the hoop as often as you would like. Or you want to maybe preserve your energy by shooting jumpers. Jordan stopped going to the hoop because they started knocking him down. And then he, would go in the low post. He had a, great mid-range game. LeBron, it can still go to the hoop. And even Michael Jordan said, look, if he goes right, you're not going to be able to stop him. He still can be that kind of player. And for him to hit that 39,000-point barrier with the three-pointer, I thought was interesting as well, because other players in history, Wilt Chamberlain wouldn't have benefited from this. Oscar, maybe. Jerry West would have. But you're looking at certain players saying, as a result of the three-point shot, are they a greater shooter, scorer than somebody else, but they had the benefit of the three-point shot? Larry Bird certainly would have taken advantage of that. Jordan, as great as he was, would have learned to incorporate that in his game. But it's a pretty impressive milestone for LeBron, because I came up with a different angle on the argument of LeBron and Michael Jordan. Now, I've said, and having witnessed all those championships, who would I take? Game on the line. You have to win one game, one season. I would take Michael Jordan. But if I said I could give you 21 consecutive years of high-end basketball, 21 and counting, high-end basketball, and he's going to make you relevant, you're going to be in the playoffs. Half of his career, he's played for a championship, almost half his career. Or I can give you 13 years of Michael Jordan, where he wins, 7 championships, six championships. He wins 6, LeBron wins 4, but LeBron gets you back there, and LeBron is still playing, where Michael, he retires and he comes back with the Wizards. So who do you take? If I present it that way, I give you the longevity, greatness of LeBron James. And Michael Jordan would give you those 6 titles. And, it was a truncated portion of his career where they could have won 6 in a row, 7, 8 in a row, maybe, if he didn't play baseball. But he didn't give you longevity the way LeBron has. So LeBron's going to give you 8 more years where Mike's going to be out of the game. And if you consider that, the totality of their careers, LeBron is a better basketball player. But once again, I'll come back and say that Michael Jordan's the greatest I've ever seen. And if you have a game to win, I want him, I want him leading the charge. But I think sometimes what LeBron does gets lost. And I think there's people kind of look at it and go, oh, it's LeBron. It's always about LeBron. Oh, it's drama. Mike never dealt with social media. LeBron is, knee deep in that. And I think people maybe get tired of LeBron, the over coverage of LeBron. But I have to look at that and respect the results and the workout and the dedication to do that. And that's a young man's game. So I just wanted to mention that sometimes we build up animosity, or, hey, LeBron's not going to, interfere with my childhood memories of Michael Jordan. I understand all of those things. But I think sometimes we go out of our way to be critical of LeBron and not complimentary of LeBron. They're not a good team right now. They won a couple of games, but 39,000 points, and I don't know what that means to anybody else. Kareem was there. Karl Malone was there. You got, 5 guys who've scored 30,000 or more. Kobe was in there. But 39,000 and counting. I mean, he's going to end up with at least 40,000 points in his career. And he's not slowing down. Yeah, Paulie.
I always like to point out LeBron's at 282 playoff games. That's already by the record. He's just piling them on. He averaged 41 minutes a game in those 282 games. So you're adding about 4 seasons of NBA basketball, 4 seasons of the most intense NBA basketball and the most minutes.
It is amazing. I mean, the numbers are truly amazing. But to be able to do this, and I think if you look at Tom Brady and you look at LeBron James, and maybe you look at Brady because he was in shape and he created something. Not a great athlete, but he made himself into a great, the greatest quarterback of all time. Joe Montana didn't stay healthy. Tom Brady did. Therefore, you have the totality of his career. Now, somebody might say you got one game to win. Who do you want as your quarterback? I might take John Elway, but that's just me. But Montana went 4-0 in Super Bowls. Mike went 6-0 in the NBA Finals. Tom Brady was there half of his career. He'd be playing in Super Bowls. It's the same as LeBron. Now, LeBron was born into some better genes. The DNA pool was a little bit deeper for LeBron when he came in. And it's weird how you feel like I could work out like LeBron. That doesn't make me LeBron. There's players who probably feel like I could work out the way Tom did, and I might be Tom Brady. Because there's nothing where you go, like, you can't do that. He's not Michael Vick. Tom Brady made himself into a really good player. But the off-season conditioning, the workouts, the diets, all of those things. And remember when, LeBron spends $1 million on his body and working out? I'm sure it's more than that. But that's one of those where a light bulb goes on and you're going, oh, wow. So if that guy with that talent is working hard or harder in the offseason than these other players, that's why he's able to do what he's doing. After 21 years, all those playoff games. Yeah. Go give LeBron a hug if you see him today. Just maybe not walk up to him, but
don't
just
actually.
Yeah,
Don't
no, probably not. No,
don't
just give him like an air hug.
He'd
there.
likely prefer you don't touch him.
Hey, Dan Patrick said, come up and give you a hug. No, an air hug. Just like, hey, LeBron, congratulations.
Like wave past the security guards. LeBron, well, Dan said, give you a hi.
Yeah. I just thought, maybe mention LeBron, giving thanks to LeBron, doing what he's doing. Yes, Marv.
But I think basketball and football are one of those two sports where the numbers are, I don't know what the rushing record is, numbers-wise. I know who has it, but baseball is the one where it used to be. The numbers are 714, 660, all those. And so 39,000. I was like, oh, he's the first one to get it? Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't resonate, but then what sport has numbers that resonate anymore? Now, if I said, who's got the record for most passing touchdowns in a season? What's the most total yards passing in a season? Rushing, who holds that? Receiving, it doesn't matter that much anymore. But I just, having followed his career, actually seeing him in high school, in a high school playoff game, to see where he is now, the development of him as a scorer. He's not a shooter. He's a scorer. But to come in, and he was known for his passing. He was a pass-first guy. And that's when people had a problem with him. Oh, afraid to take the big shot. And he might have been. He might have. Not a great clutch free throw shooter. Like, those are the knocks on him. But he wins. Where he goes, he wins. He makes you relevant. And if you said I can have 21 years of that kind of basketball, how many years did Jordan play? Do we have like 13, 12, 13? Todd, you were going to say something?
It doesn't resonate in numbers, especially like what Marvin was saying, basketball and football. What resonates, I guess, to all of us is if you look at who they surpassed. When you say he's got more than A, B, and C, then it becomes a bigger deal than just throwing out 39,000 as just some kind of random number.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, Paulie.
Jordan played 13 seasons with the Bulls, 2 seasons with Washington. In comparison, Jordan played 179 playoff games, about 42 minutes a game like LeBron. LeBron's at like 280.
Yeah. And I don't want this to become the argument and take over the show. I think sometimes that, and there is no argument for me, Michael's the greatest player I've seen. Greatest player because I saw the results. But the longevity has to be factored in with LeBron. He has had a better career. That doesn't make him a better basketball player. It makes him, longevity-wise, he has put up numbers. He's played in quality games, big games, and, he's won championships as well. Yes, Eaton.
Yeah, I think part of it, too, though, is that LeBron is still playing, and people hate players when they still play. It isn't until people hated Michael Jordan. When Knicks fans hated Michael Jordan, they weren't like, hey, we got knocked out of the playoffs again, but at least it was to Jordan, huh? How great is that? They hated him. So it wasn't until after he was gone a few years that you're like, man, that dude was just the best. He was a killer,
Like you don't want to acknowledge something in the moment because
yes, we got the Bulls again. Yes. Maybe Jordan will knock us out again. Yes.
Well, do you think that in 10 years from now we look back on LeBron and we have greater appreciation? Because
definitely.
While he's still playing in his 31st season in the NBA?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that.
I think he's waiting for his son to have a son to then get to the NBA, and then he's going to probably
the first
retire.
of 3 generations to play at the same time.
Dunking on your grandson.
Yeah. Yes, Marv.
Who's done first, you or LeBron?
Ooh. LeBron.
Well, I got 4 years. I'm hoping for 4 years.
Oh, no, you do 4 years.
It's all day to day. We're all day to day. I mean,
we are.
I can't say.
I like that update. I'm hoping for 4 years.
Yes, I am. It is day to day sometimes. I come in and I go, I can't. I'm not going to last 4 years.
Yeah.
Is LeBron playing in his 25th season when I retire? Man. I'm going to say no. I'm going to 3 years?
He's under contract this year. He's under contract next year with a player option for $51 million. And then he's an unrestricted free agent at age 41 in 2025.
God, he might still be playing. He might still be playing. Yeah, Marv.
Also, LeBron James will be 39 December 30th.
Yeah.
The head coach of the Jazz, Will Hardy, is 35. I was like, oh, man, good for him.
Oh. How about career salary game for LeBron James? Spur of the moment
We've
here.
never done it for him.
I don't think we've done it. And here we go.
18.
Any reason to play this?
Salary, 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 salary.
My favorite. By the way, the music theme for today, since we're not here on Friday, is going to be songs with food in the title. Is that correct, Marv?
Food in the title or
In the song.
or bands that are named after a food or a drink.
Okay.
Something you can
food
consume.
or drink.
Yeah, something you can consume.
Like Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blind Melon.
Right.
Okay. All right. Paulie, career salary game for LeBron James.
LeBron's first year, he made $4 million. His current salary is $47.6 million.
Okay.
I'm going to include next year because that is guaranteed.
All right.
So in 22
years.
22 years. What has LeBron made on the court? Closest to the hole, over or under?
Todd, you go first.
$468 million.
All right. Respectable guess there. Seton O'Connor.
I feel like that's light.
Okay.
If it's LeBron James,
Have you heard of him?
We're talking about LeBron James.
maybe you've heard.
Perhaps you have heard
The
of
big
him.
question is, does he play longer?
We were talking about LeBron James.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think people realize that. I'm gonna say $550 million.
All righty. Marvin?
$515 million.
All right.
15.
15 million.
15.
Okay. I'm going to go 498.7.
That's disrespectful.
It's a slap in the face. Anything without a 5 is a slap in the face. $530,882,000.
All right.
I'm going to round it up to 531.
Is that you, Seton, the big winner?
Well, I went over, so it's Marvin.
Oh, okay.
Closest to going without over.
Oh, okay. Congratulations.
Is that the
Marvin.
most in team sports history? That has to be the most in team sports. I think Garnett was up there, but he's not even at 4.
No, he was 300.
Yeah, I got to check what Mahomes will make.
Okay.
Garnett and Shaquille are actually the very beginnings of career salary game. Yeah,
But they're 300?
They were, Shaq at the time, it was just an astronomical amount of money that he made. And I remember I was obsessed with it at ESPN working there. I would check dude's salaries every single day. Every single day I would be like, do you know how much money that he's made in his career?
I think it's like Shaq, Jason Kidd, Garnett were the first guys to crack 300 million. And then A-Rod, I think, for baseball, might be the only.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, you'll have Mike Trout.
Trout, I think, is on his way. I got to check if he's
Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have quite a few 300 million guys. Yes, Todd?
Assuming he heals nicely, Ohtani, does he break all records at some point when all is said and done? Where do you think he ends up?
Well, baseball contracts are guaranteed, so I would say as soon as he signs, he's going to be in that $400 million category, maybe a little bit more. Yes, Paulie.
All right, Patrick Mahomes' contract is very wonky because his is very like a roller coaster. It's like low up front, the big contract he signed.
Yep.
He has only made, in 7 seasons, $136 million. Over the next, if all goes well, he's going to have to restructure some stuff. He's got $44 million coming, then 50, then 56, then 52, then 27. I got Mahomes finishing this contract in 2031 at $496 million.
Yeah, that's a bargain.
And I don't, there's a little bit of way out of it, but he's going to be getting $400 million in his sleep.
Yeah.
Now, let's throw in Mike Trout. We're going through all of these greats that have, look at all the rings they're stacking up. Look at all these great accomplishments. Mike Trout, on the other hand, by the end of 2030.
Hold it. Save it.
Oh, my gosh, we're so late.
Save it. We are. Let's take a break. Just getting started on this Wednesday. Back after this.